In a world teeming with numerous characters, both heroes and villains, a single question echoes. How do we know who is the toughest of them all? While this video is not the best to cater to that question, it does add one character that might be a tough contender to the list. This episode aims to answer the mystery surrounding Ogun's origins. Today, we will learn who Ogun truly is and what are his darkest desires that keep him from coming back for more. What is it about Ogun that should be feared? Join us in this journey through various phases of his life, from his days in the army to his intense clashes with Wolverine. Each detail is a result of meticulous research and extensive reading, promising to tell you everything lesser known about this guy. Are you ready? Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin. Backstory of Ogun. Ogun, a well-known villain in the Marvel Universe, he started off his career as a captain in the Japanese Imperial Army during the 1930s. Back then, he crossed paths with Wolverine in Shanghai, China, where Logan caught his eye. Impressed by Logan's enthusiasm, Ogun offered Logan a spot at his martial arts boot camp in Kanazawa, but Logan initially rejected it. However, as he aged and gained wisdom, he recognized the offer. Seeking self-discipline, Logan decided to take a crash course at the Ogun Ryu Dojo in Japan. The untold tale of Wolverine's formative years with Sensei Ogun. Logan and Ogun went from student-teacher to close friends during their time in Japan. Their peaceful training was disrupted when Lord Ugamahana's gang sought revenge on Ogun. In an intense ninja showdown, Ogun demonstrated a mysterious ability to cheat death. He revealed his power to recreate himself in a psychic form and transfer into another person's body. Ogun had plans to take over Logan's body, but sensing trouble, Logan left before that could happen. Ogun, now obsessed with this body snatching technique, perfected it and became a dangerous force in the criminal underworld, wearing a red demon mask for dramatic effect. After a quiet period, Logan reappeared, setting the stage for a new chapter in their story. Ogun's intense training for Shadowcat and the clash with Wolverine. Kitty Pryde, a young mutant from the X-Men, learns her dad is involved in some shady business in Japan. She heads there and encounters Ogun. He manipulates Kitty, making her believe she's his ninja daughter. Wolverine, being Kitty's teammate, rushes to Japan after he receives the distress call sent by her. Ogun turns brainwashed Kitty against Wolverine, but Wolverine breaks Ogun's control and sets Kitty free from his control. Kitty now confronts Ogun, and Ogun, being the powerhouse he is, beats her in the fight. Despite the odds, Kitty refuses to surrender. Just as Ogun is about to finish her off, Wolverine intervenes. Wolverine and Ogun, master and pupil, engage in a fierce battle. Wolverine defeats Ogun and hands Kitty Ogun's sword for revenge. However, Kitty, choosing freedom, can't bring herself to harm Ogun. Wolverine guides Kitty to phase through Ogun's sneak attack, and he ultimately defeats Ogun, destroying his demon mask. The mystical tale of Ogun's enigmatic mask. Ogun, a ninja with an indestructible mask, has a survival story that defied defeat. While we thought Wolverine finished Ogun's story by shattering the mask, we were absolutely wrong. The mask repaired itself, cradling Ogun's spirit. This mask was more than a mere accessory. It served as Ogun's puppeteer strings, granting him mystical control over others. Taking his act to the United States, Ogun used his mask and sword in a deadly puppet show at the Metropolitan Museum. Ghost Rider, a flaming skulled Avenger, asked Wolverine to team up against Ogun. The showdown unfolded at the museum, but Ogun's mask and sword mysteriously vanished, setting the stage for a thrilling battle. Despite Ogun's attempts to catch Wolverine off guard with wisdom bombs, Ghost Rider's assistance allowed Wolverine to turn the tables. Recalling Ogun's lesson on balancing his human and animal sides, Wolverine cleverly used Ogun's own sword against him. The mask shattered and Ogun's spirit disappeared, concluding the intense confrontation. The story showcased Ogun's mysterious mask, emphasizing themes of survival, mind games, and a hero outsmarting the puppet master in a dramatic finale. His spirit beyond the horizon. Ogun decided to find a new host after ditching Lady Deathstrike. He was now in need of another host and thus kept hopping from one body to another. His search brought him to Mr. X, a fierce warrior with telepathic abilities. Ogun's attempt to possess Mr. X was hindered when Mr. X used his telepathic powers to block him. Undeterred, Ogun switched his tactics and took over the body of Mr. X's bodyguard, Block. Controlling Block like a puppet, Ogun continued to pursue Mr. X. Even in a confrontation with Wolverine, Ogun stayed in the shadows, playing the silent observer. Wolverine, with his heightened senses, sensed Ogun's ghostly presence. Mr. X, under Ogun's influence, devised a plan to trap Wolverine. Ogun, seizing opportunities, left Block to become the bodyguard for Madripoor's influential figure, Viper. The chaos escalated when Ogun executed a massive spirit heist, taking control of the entire population of Madripoor. Wolverine, sensing trouble, confronted Ogun in an epic battle. Ogun, aiming to make Wolverine his puppet ruler through Viper, faced resistance from Wolverine's resilient mind. As Ogun's plans unwinded, he attempted a desperate move, jumping back into Viper, hoping Logan would spare his wife. However, Logan, firm in his heroism, skewered Viper without hesitation. With Viper out of the picture and Ogun left without a backup plan, the ghostly ninja faced his ultimate defeat. Ogun's spirit, defeated and deflated, drifted away into the sky, marking the end of his tale. The story highlighted Ogun's ambitious yet ultimately foiled attempts at puppeteering, with Wolverine emerging victorious in the face of his ghostly schemes. Ogun's escape from the Nether realms. Not known how, Ogun escaped hell. He heard rumors spread of a reward on Wolverine's head by the Abraham Cornelius and what would stop him. He decided to team up with Cornelius to achieve his goals. Cornelius aimed to collect all adamantium pieces worldwide and called up Ogun for the task. Ogun, assigned to track down Lady Deathstrike and Cyber, headed to Madripoor. Kitty Pryde, sensing trouble, intercepted Ogun's plan, allowing him an opportunity to possess her, and thus it was now easy for him to enter Madripoor. Donning in Kitty's body, he skillfully defeated Lady Deathstrike, but spared her life, prioritizing saving Logan, as Cornelius wanted Wolverine alive. To achieve this, Ogun injected him with regen serum, healed him, and lured him to Japan. In Japan, Ogun eliminated Cyber, disposed of his adamantium body and acid, and confronted Logan. They engaged in a fierce battle until Kitty Pryde used her own ninja abilities, resisted Ogun's control, and freed herself. Ogun revealed Cornelius as the mastermind behind the plot and told them about the new Weapon X program in Nevada. Striking a deal, Ogun promised not to harm Kitty, his host at the moment, if Logan allowed him to escape. Reluctantly, Logan agreed and Ogun left. However, Ogun persisted, trailing Logan to Nevada, because you know, Ogun and Ogun. The Dark Era of Shogun's rule. The team, consisting of Sharp, aka Shogun as Ogun, was using Sharp as his host, Neuro, Endo, Skell, and Junk, successfully located and kidnapped a group of mutants known as the Wolverines, including Mystique, Daken, Sabretooth, Lady Deathstrike, and X-23. Their mission involved teaming up with the kidnapped mutants to find Wolverine's adamantium petrified body in the ruins of the Paradise facility. While at the facility, they encountered the Wrecking Crew, hired by Mr. Sinister to retrieve Wolverine's body. During this confrontation, X-23 and Daken managed to locate Wolverine's body. However, the situation took a grim turn when Mr. Sinister appeared. He seized Wolverine's body, decapitated an eye and one arm of Daken, and then departed. Complicating matters, Daken, already lacking a healing factor due to a recent encounter with Siphon, was now in critical condition, bleeding and facing imminent death. The removal of his healing factor left him vulnerable and in urgent need of medical attention to survive. To save Daken, Sharp used the last regen serum, upsetting Ogun, who had reservations. In the ensuing chaos, Ogun saw an advantage and took complete control of Sharp's body, only to lose it later. Meanwhile, Fang, who was seeking revenge for Logan's death, defeated Team Shogun. After Fang defeated the team, they planned to beat him before his return. On the Changeling, Sharp and Lady Deathstrike's relationship developed, despite Ogun's warning to Sharp to not trust her. Yuriko mentioned that Sharp reminded her of Ogun, and Sharp revealed Ogun's spirit was in his head. Sharp was asleep when Ogun once again took control and planned with Yuriko to fully control Sharp. Yuriko and Ogun collaborated for her freedom. She trained intensely with Sharp, and when he fell asleep, Ogun took over, instructing Lady Deathstrike to weaken Sharp's spirit without killing him. During the fight, Ogun revealed the truth, and while the battle was on, Fang returned, overpowering the team. Fang teleported away with Sharp before Lady Deathstrike could strike the final blow. Transported to an unnamed planet, Ogun tried one last time to take over Sharp's body, but Fang stopped him, sending Sharp back. After the team attacked Sinister's fortress, Sharp was fatally injured, allowing Ogun to take control again. During the fight, Sinister revealed a cure, using it on Sharp, who took control and locked Ogun's spirit away. Sharp later confirmed Ogun's demise back in Hell. The Supernatural Symphony of Ogun's powers. Ogun is a Marvel mystic. He possessed a unique array of supernatural powers. As a sorcerer, he could manipulate others' minds, imprinting his psyche onto theirs and turning them into puppets under his control. Remarkably, he seemed immune to the effects of aging, treating time as a mere acquaintance. Surviving injuries like a sword through the chest appeared to be routine for him. Adding to his mystique, Ogun had a ghostly side gig. In spirit form, he engaged in body snatching, slipping into someone's skin and controlling them while enjoying immunity to physical harm. Ogun was untouchable even in his physical form. His mystical talents included crafting illusions, resurrecting from the afterlife, and excelling in martial arts with mastery in 13 styles, particularly his own Ogun Ryu. A sword dancer and strategic genius, Ogun's spirit form wasn't just about skills, it was a knowledge-sharing pageant. Hosting Ogun meant gaining access to his skills and intelligence like attending a masterclass with a ghostly sensei. In the Marvel Universe, Ogun presented a supernatural symphony of abilities, enchanting his audience with his otherworldly finesse and captivating them with the melody of his powers. Marvelous verdict. In our exploration of Ogun's early days, we encountered his mysterious origins and his fierce life. His story goes beyond the typical villain tale, from being an army brat to becoming an almost mystique-like entity. Ogun, once a patriot facing the challenges of a soldier, later emerged as a powerful villain for Marvel's most violent hero. This episode went beyond action, giving a clear picture of Ogun's origins, his powers, and his ever-changing dynamics with Logan. A big shout out to the creators for mixing the storyline with emotion and creativity, creating a truly outstanding supervillain. In the wide world of comic books, only a few managed to give Wolverine a run for his money. Ogun's tale unveils the Marvel Universe as even more intense than we think. What else would you like us to explore? Let us know in the comments.